At 11:47 p.m., she picks up her phone for the 10th time in half an hour. The screen lights up. Nothing. No new notifications. She places it back on the table, face up, volume at maximum, just to make sure she won't miss it if he finally replies. She knows she should sleep, knows she should be living her life, working, talking with friends, doing anything besides waiting. But her brain won't shut off. Each passing minute without a response feels like an eternity. And she replays the entire conversation in her head. Did I say something wrong? Did he lose interest? Am I being too anxious? And while the silence of the phone screams louder than any words, a part of her whispers, "Why do I give so much power to someone who clearly isn't paying attention to me?" This is the invisible agony of women who live in waiting mode. And today we're unveiling the cruel psychology behind this pattern. Because it's not about simply being more detached. It's not solved with love yourself more. It's something neurologically deeper, emotionally more complex, and humanly more painful than any shallow advice can reach. And without understanding what's really happening in the mind while waiting, she'll keep handing over her power to people who don't deserve even a second of her time. Let's start by dismantling the illusion she's living. She's not just waiting for a message. She's waiting for validation that she matters. And each minute without a response is interpreted by her brain not as he's busy, but as you're not a priority. There's a psychological phenomenon called intermittent uncertainty, and it's the most powerful mechanism of emotional control that exists. When she doesn't know if he'll respond, when he'll respond or what he'll respond, her brain enters a state of maximum alert. It's the same system that kept our ancestors alive in the jungle, hypervigilance in the face of uncertain danger. Except now, the danger isn't a predator, it's rejection. And while she waits, her brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone, at levels that keep her in constant anxiety. But here's the cruel part. When he finally responds, she gets a dopamine explosion so intense that her brain registers it as a reward, as victory. She's not addicted to him. She's addicted to the relief that comes after the anxiety. And the more he makes her wait, the more powerful the chemical reward when he appears. It's exactly the same mechanism that makes casinos addictive. She doesn't know when she'll win, so she keeps playing, keeps waiting, keeps checking her phone. And while she waits, she disappears. Not physically, but energetically. Now the question arises, why does she do this? Why can't she simply live her life and let him respond whenever he wants? Because almost always the waiting pattern started long before him. If she grew up in an environment where attention was scarce, where she needed to compete for a look, a word, a hug, her brain learned early that love is something to be chased, not something that comes naturally. Maybe she grew up with emotionally absent parents. She spoke, but they didn't really listen. She needed them, but they were always busy. And she learned that her worth was directly tied to the attention she could capture. So when she meets a man who replicates this pattern, who responds when he wants, who leaves her in the void, who gives her attention in homeopathic doses, something inside her doesn't see this as disrespect, sees it as familiar. Her unconscious whispers, I know this. If I can make this man give me attention, I'll finally prove I'm worthy of being seen. But the devastating truth is this. She's not waiting for his message. She's waiting for the validation she never received as a child. And until she realizes this, she'll keep giving power to men who can barely give her the minimum, a reply on the same day. As this pattern settles in, the behaviors become increasingly self-destructive. She develops what psychologists call chronic anticipatory anxiety. She can't relax because she's always in waiting mode. She's in a meeting, but her mind is mentally checking if he's already responded. She's with friends, but she's not really present because a part of her is trapped in that phone. She starts distorting reality to protect her hope. He must be working. He's probably out of battery. He's not really a phone person anyway. And she creates elaborate narratives that justify his behavior because accepting the simple truth that she's not a priority would be too devastating. She develops compulsive checking behaviors. She opens WhatsApp, closes it, opens it again, checks if the internet is working, looks if he's online, calculates how much time has passed since the last time he appeared. And each check gives her a micro-hit of anxiety followed by disappointment. And the cruelest of all, she starts modifying her own behavior based on his response. If he takes long to respond, she takes even longer so she doesn't seem anxious. If he sends a short message, she shortens hers too. She enters a psychological game where she's constantly calculating herself, measuring herself, controlling herself, and she loses all spontaneity, all authenticity, all the pleasure of simply being. This is the psychology of a woman trapped in waiting mode. It's not just relationship anxiety. It's a subtle form of self-erasure where she puts her entire life on pause waiting for someone to give her a sign that she matters. So what happens to this woman when she lives in constant waiting? She becomes the adult who can't be present in her own life. Because mentally, she's always somewhere else. Waiting, anticipating, imagining. She becomes the woman who measures her day by the quality of interaction with him. If he responded quickly and warmly, the day was good. If he delayed or was dry, the day was terrible. She outsources her emotional state to someone who's barely present. She becomes the type of woman who feels her heart race every time the phone vibrates, gets disappointed when she sees it's a notification from someone else, loses interest in everything that isn't the expectation of him, feels shame about caring so much, hides from friends how much she really waits. She inherits a life where she's not the protagonist. She's the supporting character waiting for the protagonist to appear so the story can begin. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. If he wanted to, he would have already responded. It's not about him being busy. Everyone is busy, but people make time for who matters. People respond quickly to who's a priority. People don't leave in the void someone they really want. And she can create 1,000 justifications, can give 1,000 chances, can be more patient, more understanding, more detached. And still, the truth doesn't change. She's waiting for someone who isn't running to her. Now let's examine what really happens behind the scenes of each wait. Phase 1, the message sent. First, she feels good, even empowered. She sent a nice message, confident. Now just wait for the response. She puts the phone aside and promises herself she won't keep checking. Phase 2, the first check. 5 minutes later, she's already picked up the phone just to see the time. He viewed it, but hasn't responded yet. It's okay, she thinks. He must be doing something. Phase 3, the mental calculation. Half an hour passes. Now she starts doing math. He viewed it 28 minutes ago. How long is normal to wait? She rereads her message looking for something wrong. Was I too intense? Too cold? Should I have used a different emoji? Phase 4, obsessive checking. 1 hour. She's already checked 15 times. He went online twice but didn't respond to her. Her mind races, he's talking to someone else. He's ignoring me on purpose. I did something wrong. Phase 5, paralyzing anxiety. She can't focus on anything anymore. Tries to watch something, but doesn't absorb anything. Tries to work, but rereads the same paragraph 5 times. Her mind is completely hijacked by waiting. Phase 6, the response or lack thereof. If he finally responds, she feels instant relief, even euphoria, and she's already forgotten the agony of waiting. Her brain registers, it was worth waiting. If he doesn't respond, she goes to sleep with the phone in her hand, waking up at dawn to check. And tomorrow the cycle restarts. And the more she waits, the more she trains her brain to accept crumbs as a feast. One of the most important questions she needs to ask herself now isn't why doesn't he respond, but rather, why do I accept staying and wait? Because the uncomfortable truth is, she only waits because she allows it. She only stays in anxiety mode because she hasn't established for herself what's acceptable and what isn't. And almost always, she accepts waiting because she's avoiding feeling something. Maybe it's the fear that if she doesn't wait, she'll lose him, the belief that her worth depends on him choosing her, the terror of accepting that maybe she's not as important to him as he is to her, the shame of admitting she's giving too much to someone who gives too little, the emptiness she feels when she doesn't have him to focus on and needs to look at her own life. And until she faces what really keeps her in waiting, she'll keep handing over her emotional power to men who barely have basic consideration for her. This is how she stops waiting. Not by blocking the number, but by understanding why she allows herself to disappear while awaiting someone's attention. This is how she recovers her power, not by faking detachment, but by deciding she won't pause her life for anyone anymore. This is how she frees herself, not by waiting for him to change, but by changing what she accepts. But healing doesn't mean she'll stop feeling butterflies. It means she won't hand over her emotional well-being into the hands of someone who puts her in second place. And she needs to know, she may still feel the urge to check her phone, and that's natural. What changes isn't the impulse, it's what she does with it. Before, she felt the anxiety and checked compulsively. Now, she'll feel the anxiety and do something different. She'll put the phone in another room. She'll call a friend and have a real conversation. She'll do something that gives her pleasure without depending on him. She'll breathe deeply and remember, my worth isn't in the speed of anyone's response. And each time she does this, she reconnects with her own power. She creates a new neural pattern that doesn't trap her in waiting mode, but puts her back in control of her own life. So if there's a woman listening who lives waiting for his message, certain truths must be acknowledged. She's not needy. She's giving too much attention to someone who isn't doing the same for her. She's not dramatic. She's reacting to the emotional inconsistency of someone who doesn't know how to treat her with respect. She's not the only one. Millions of incredible women are trapped in this same pattern. But that doesn't mean she needs to continue. And this must also be understood. A man who makes her wait is telling her, without words, that she's not a priority. And she can wait one more day, one more week, one more month. But the answer won't change the fact that she deserved someone who didn't make her wait in the first place. But there's hope. And hope isn't in him starting to respond faster. Hope is in her stopping waiting. And stopping waiting doesn't mean blocking or ending things, though she can do that if she wants. It means living her life with total presence, whether he responded or not, going out with friends and not checking her phone every 5 minutes, making plans that don't depend on his availability, responding when she wants to, not when strategy dictates, not interpreting delay as disinterest because she already knows her worth. Not because she became a cold person, but because she finally understood that her peace is worth more than anyone's attention. And no, it won't be easy. There will be relapses. There will be nights she'll sleep with her phone in her hand, checking one last time. But one day she'll realize something. She spent the entire day without thinking about him. She was so present in her own life that she forgot to wait. And when the response finally came, if it came, she didn't feel that euphoria anymore. She felt nothing, or worse for him, indifference, because she finally understood. She wasn't waiting for him. She was postponing living. She deserved someone who responded to her with excitement, not obligation. She deserved a man who didn't make her question if she matters. She deserved someone for whom responding to her was a pleasure, not a task. And maybe she didn't have that until now, but she still has an entire life ahead. And this time she can choose differently, not choosing men who respond quickly to manipulate her, but choosing to never pause her life waiting for anyone again. The type of choice that says, I deserve presence, not crumbs. I deserve consistency, not anxiety. I deserve someone who wants me so much that responding quickly is automatic. And if there's someone listening now feeling a lump in their throat, it's because a part of them knows it's true. She doesn't need to wait anymore. She's already waited too long. And now, finally, she can put the phone aside. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with clarity. The clarity of someone who finally understood. Her life doesn't begin when he responds. Her life is now, and she won't waste it waiting anymore.